Another dart.
Hi guys, this is gregfox with some TR gameplay for you today. In this video I want to talk about the most recent patch and how it affects the game. And I think this patch is of particular importance because I think with this patch they tried to address the problem that has been plaguing Planetside basically since its release, which is retention of new players and the experience for new players and what makes a new player want to stick around for the game. And this is a problem that's basically exists in every free-to-play game, and it's very accessible. You know, it's free, people download it, they play it, and very few of them stick around. And the goal of any developers of a free-to-play game is obviously to retain as many of those players as possible. And this is something that I think SOE has been doing a good job about lately. The optimization is definitely something that's helped a lot, because a reason that a lot of people leave the game is because they can't run it, their frame rate's not very good, you know, it won't run on their machine, it wasn't that well optimized at first, and they've done good progress to help fix that, so that's a step in the right direction. But another thing that's really hurt this game is it throws you in there, and it's very confusing and overwhelming environment for a new player. So I think overcoming that is really the best way to get people to stick around and continue to enjoy the game. So I think there's two ways that SOE is trying to improve this, and the first is providing, well, what's referred to as easy mode weapons or gear or something like that, sort of what's called the noob weapons, like shotguns and lock-ons and that kind of thing that is intended to level the playing field and make the newer players, or the players who are maybe not as skilled, feel like they can still compete with the better and more experienced players. And I honestly don't think this is the right way to go, and Matty Ace has had a lot to say about this in relation to the air game. Basically what he said is that weapons like coyotes and tomcats will help out new players, but at the same time the more experienced players will just be able to abuse them, and it'll make them even more powerful, and even worse, it'll make the experienced players bored because they're not letting their skills benefit them and they're feeling forced to use these weapons. But anyway, I think Matty Ace is a lot better at talking about this than I am, so I'll leave it at that because I don't want to take up too much of the video with that. But anyway, that's just the general way that things have been going, and I'll come back to that idea in a little bit. So back to the other way that the devs are trying to improve this game, and this is really the way to go in my opinion, and that's improving the environment for newer players, making it feel more friendly for them. And I've noticed this trend for the last few patches, and especially the last one. I think the last one has been the best at this, at really pushing this forward. So if you don't know anything about the latest patch, I'll just sum it up very quickly here. So first of all, they gave everybody the 250 cert shotguns, the semi-auto shotguns, for free. And that's a little bit questionable. I'll get into that a little bit later. What they also did is they added a survey. This is only on the first character that you log into, although you can click the box and say ask me later and use it on another character, but just keep that in mind that this is only for one character. There's a survey with a couple questions on it. You take it, and it gives you a result and says, you know, light assault trooper, I think that's the one I got, and gives you a description and a free weapon, a camo, and a one-day boost. And you can choose a different result. There's one for each class. There's only one for each class. So you can choose six weapons. There's 6 weapons to choose from. And I really like this because it gives the new players sort of a direction to go in. Just gets their foot in the door, and that's really the most important thing here. I should point out really quick that the new stuff that they're giving to everybody, not just new characters, but existing ones as well. Some higher battle ranks are annoyed by that because they already have the items, but I don't really think it's that big of a deal. And after that, they went and they added another loadout. So people start with 2 loadouts now instead of 1, and you get the second loadout at battle rank 5 and the third loadout now at battle rank 5 and the 4th loadout at battle rank 15. Just a reminder about that. So now you have 4 loadouts in total as a non-member, which is awesome. And with every loadout, they renamed the first and second loadout, and they added a bunch of starter gear for people. Like I know for Infiltrator, it was the rank 1 of the Motion Spotter and rank 1 of the Stalker Cloak. I think that was it. It was just like a couple things like that for every class. I think that's really great that they did that. You know, a lot of us were annoyed that they messed with our loadouts and changed the name, but, you know, it's not really that big of a deal. I can get over it. My OCD is not that bad. And if you're complaining about it, just calm down. Another thing they did is combined all the camos, so you basically only have to buy 1 camo now, and you get it for your infantry, your vehicle, and your weapon. And a lot of people were very mad about this because they had bought each of those separately. Other people were really happy about this because they had just bought 1, you know, maybe here and there, and they hadn't really matched it. And now they have like 3 times the amount of camos. That's kind of my case. Actually, I had a little bit of both. So I won some, I lost some. But overall, I think this is great. And to the people that are whining about wanting a refund, just deal with it. You know, if you go to the store and you buy something and then you go the next day and there's a sale and you complain to them about it, they're just gonna look at you and laugh when you leave. You know, this is not the way that businesses work. There are no retroactive refunds, so I'm sorry about that, but just deal with it. And I can't believe this slipped my mind until now because this is basically the biggest part of the patch, but they finally added the new sniper rifles, the Empire specific ones, and there's a Nanite Systems semi-automatic sniper rifle, which I am pretty excited about. I'll probably get that one. But yeah, I'm not really too excited about these. The thing I was most excited for was the straight pull bolt, and they still have not added that, which I'm mad about. That's really the only thing that I cared about, but hopefully that'll make it into the next patch. Another big change was to medics. Now you have a 30-second timer when you die, and if a medic does not revive you within those 30 seconds, your body disappears. And when you do get revived, you get a 10-second timer to accept, and then your body disappears. And when somebody's body is close to when their timer is close to running out, the medics will get a notification. I haven't played as medic, so I haven't seen this, but actually some people are complaining that it's a nerf to medics, a nerf to teamwork. I think it's the opposite. I think it will keep the flow of battle running a lot smoother, and I have noticed this while playing, that every time I go down, there's a medic on me immediately rezzing me, and I love this because my biggest complaint about medics in this game is that they're not really that reliable. You're very lucky to find a competent medic around. A lot of them use it to heal themselves, and I think this is something that promotes a little team play, gets the newer players headed in the right direction because they do get that indicator that somebody needs to be revived, and I think that's overall a positive. So I want to come back around and talk about the shotguns again now, because everybody gets them. It's going to make the shotgun spam a lot worse. This is something I have very mixed feelings about because I do want there to be more default weapons, and it's very unfair when there is a very powerful weapon that is not default, especially when it costs 1,000 certs. And I thought that this was the purpose of the 250 cert shotguns, that they were a budget alternative, although they were some of the best, and I thought they were very cheap. The Thanatos is one of my favorite shotguns, that and the Phobos, and that's pretty much all you need. And 250 certs for a shotgun is a pretty low bar of entry, so I don't really know why they had to make these default. I guess, in my opinion, they are very, very overpowered, and they have tried to balance them before, and I guess they just can't get it right. And it's something that honestly should either be removed from the game. I definitely know they're not going to do that, because by this point, the new conglomerate is basically the shotgun faction, and shotguns that shoot shotguns, etc. So basically, they decided, given to everybody, let's even out the playing field. And in a way, that's a good thing, but also more shotgun spam, yay. But at the same time, this kind of opens up a can of worms here, because there is a lot of very powerful weapons in the game that are not default, and that some of them you need in order to play a class or a vehicle effectively in the first place. Like a Vanguard pretty much sucks without the Vanguard shield. ESF, for a long time you could not get by without rocket pods. That's kind of changed. Infiltrator, you can pretty much only snipe until you buy an SMG or a scout rifle. And scout rifles served as the budget alternative to the SMG, just as the budget shotguns were the alternative to the pump actions or whatever. And the lock-ons were pretty cheap, so, I don't really know why they're going this direction if they're not going to make all that other stuff default. I think they should at least make the scout rifles default, make something else default for the ESFs, give a little bit more option than just the default nose gun. Maybe make the Locust default, because that was kind of absurd that they made them 1,000 certs. In the ESF update, all the new weapons that were intended for the new players, they made them 1,000 certs, and now they go and add shotguns as a default weapon. This doesn't really make sense to me. I don't really know what's going on. So a little consistency would be good here. But overall, don't get me wrong, I do think this was a very good patch and a step in the right direction in terms of getting new players to stay with the game and feel more comfortable. And I think that SOE is really improving the game a lot. I really like the state it's in. And I think that if you left the game in the past, that now would be a really great time to come back to it again, give it another chance. So I think that's it for this video. If I missed anything, I'll put it in an annotation or in the description. Make sure to check that. And thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry I rambled a little bit in this video. But, hopefully I'll get a little bit better at this. So see you guys next time.